There are a couple of different ways you can check and see if an igniter is good or bad. For example, if you know your pressure system is good, everything's pulling closed like it should, your inducer motor is coming on, your pressure switch is pulling in, and it gets up to the point of the igniter's supposed to glow and jack crap happens, well, it might be this guy, and I can tell you a few things to check for. Okay, so one way to test and see if an igniter is good is we're going to check the ohms or the resistance on your meter. So again, make sure you have the settings set correctly for your ohms. And we're going to put one lead on each. This plug has male connectors, so you might not get a super perfect reading, but just make sure that each lead is touching on the metal. And we are getting 40, which is good. You want it between 30, 35 to 75. So that's one way to check it, and I'll show you how to check it inside the unit. The number one thing, and I'll repeat this in a lot of videos you'll hear, is checking for a fault code. So before we even jump to the igniter possibly being the issue, this one has a sight glass, but it'll have a fault code somewhere on the panel of the unit. Some are inside, some are actually on the control board, but here you can see that we have a bunch of different fault codes. So if you're getting something along the lines of ignition proving failure, fail to ignite, if you're getting this code, then it could possibly be your igniter. So we'll take a look at how you can check and see if it's the igniter by checking the voltage. When you remove your panel from the furnace where your control board is, there will be a door switch. And this door switch, before you can even test this, has to be depressed. If it's not, it's a safety issue and the unit will not turn on. It will immediately fail. This has to be pushed in before you turn on the heat or the AC. Okay, now that we've established that we need it on volts AC and how to change it over on your own meter if you need to, let's get to it, turn on the heat, and I'll show you what we're looking for. As you can see, I have unplugged the igniter connector from the power cord. This might not be as easy for you because this one had female connectors that I could just go ahead and put my leads into. As you can see, we still have it 2 volts AC, and we're going to go ahead and turn it on, go through the cycle, and make sure that we have 120 volts. This line is going to be your neutral, and this line is going to be your 120. They need to touch both to get an accurate reading. Do not test it against ground. It needs to be touching both of those cables. Okay, we've got the heat turned on now, and once everything's gone through the cycle, boom, 122 volts. So we know that the board is sending power to the igniter. In a minute it's going to fail because it's going to fail to ignite. But this is an easy way, there's our fail. So this is an easy way to check and make sure that you are actually getting voltage to your igniter. Once you see that you do have voltage going to your igniter, safety first. Always make sure that you untape the door switch. Do not leave it depressed like that. It is a safety issue. Your house could burn down. Well, it sounds so dramatic, but true. Make sure that you keep that untaped.